Hello, welcome back to our channel, The Nursing Home Expert. My name is Bailey Hillman, and I'm your nursing home expert for tonight. I am excited, so excited about this video. I actually is a response to a question that I saw on Facebook, and I can't help but comment, and I give everybody like a snippet of the information, and then they want more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's just too much to put into words. So I already create videos like this and thought, hey, what the heck? I might as well just create a video and that way I can show you all the fun things. The question has to do with staff retention. Staff retention. I know right now, anywhere and everywhere, right? No matter if it's healthcare or food industry or Walmart or anywhere, we're all dealing with staff shortages. I don't know where people went after COVID, but they just like all disappeared. I know that people died from COVID, but not that many people, right? Where did our workforce go? And so today we're going to talk about how to retain your staff, how to gain staff, how to retain your staff. And it all starts with this. This is the key word: culture. Okay, it has to be a culture change in your building, in your nursing home. So if you're an administrator, if you're in leadership, this is for you. Even those of you who work on the floor staff, like the culture in the building has to change in order for you to be able to retain staff. Because the saying is that people don't quit a job, right? They quit a boss. That is what they quit. They quit their boss. They quit the environment. When the environment is negative and it's not healthy, it's not fun to go to work. Who wants to get up? Who wants to get up? I mean, the only reason I got up this morning and came to work is because it was going to be fun. We've had state surveyors in the building yesterday and today, closing out a whole bunch of self reports and complaints from a year ago, like 10 of them today. It was not fun. I did not want to come to work today, but because of the culture that's here and because my team members are here, it's a place that I want to get up and come to work. And so if it's hard, if the job is hard that day and you're not wanting to get up to go be around the people that you work with or the residents that you work with, why get up, right? Why stay and continue in that role? So we have to change the culture. When I got into this building, I've been in this building for a month. Okay. And I've managed and been the administrator in several buildings, right? I love going in and fixing culture. All right. I love that. I love being able to go in and watch the change. When I got here, it is very much operating in silos. And the team knows this, right? So I'm not saying anything they don't know already. And I've kept the majority of the leadership team that when I had gotten here, we've had one person end up quitting, but the majority of the 18 of them are still with me. And it works in silos. It was operating in silos. And not because they didn't, they meant to, or they were intentionally working that way. It was just the culture that was being set, right? And they didn't know any better. And so I'm working with them to break down the silos. Okay, we have to break them down. We all have to be in one accord, or I'm telling you, people are going to quit. They're going to quit. So your culture has to change. So how do you break down your silos? Right? How do you break down housekeeping working in their silo, laundry working in their silo, dietary in theirs, nursing in theirs, therapy in theirs, everybody just doing their own thing and not really coming together and working as one. One of the first things, okay, you have to do is make sure that everybody on your leadership team, the entire leadership team has to be in unison. You have to get everybody on the same page. Because if you have one leadership team member going out and stirring up your floor staff, you're never going to all start moving in one direction. So you have to make sure that your leadership team is on one course. Okay. That is where you have to start. As the administrator, I tell people all the time that one of the things that I do with leadership is I say, I want everybody to go around this room and tell me your why. Why are you sitting here? Why do you come to work here? They have to tell me their why. You know what my why is? My why is to take care of staff. I love growing and educating people. I love taking people from, I had one person that when I was in assisted living for a very short period of time, she was my universal worker. She went in and did CNA work, was supposed to do activities, was supposed to help with cooking. It was one of those, all-inclusive CNA type jobs. She was amazing at activities, and I needed an activity director. And so I went to her and she had a stuttering problem. She couldn't speak real well. Her confidence and her self-esteem was really low. All of the other aides would pick on her because they knew that she was good. People loved her, right? They loved her. And so I told her, I said, hey, Annie, I want you to be my activity director. Okay. And she's like, no, I don't want to be the activity director. I'm like, yes, you want to be my activity director. I said, you're going to do amazing. And she's like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And I said, listen, I want you to trust me, right? Just trust me. I'll do your activity calendar. I'll do most of it for you. I just want you to do what you're good at. And that's engaging with the residents and being with the residents. And so we did. And oh my gosh, like watching God just use her and grow her. So I ended up leaving there and going to a nursing home, and I brought her with me. And I'm like, you're going to be an activity assistant. Like that's what you're going to be. Like you went from a universal worker to an activity assistant. And I'm telling you, she made such a huge impact, not only on the residents, but the other team members. I could pinpoint in her, like, you are going to be amazing. She's done dietary now, her confidence level. I mean, she's just blossoming and growing, and God is blessing her. It's so fun to watch people grow. And that's my why. That's why I do what I do. And so I sit down with my leadership team and I say, I want you to tell me your why. I'm creating a culture, right? It's a culture of people who are coming together, understanding one another, and figuring out, okay, why am I here? Right? And if it's just because you want to make money, then just say that. Like, I need money to support my family. But the majority of us have other whys, many because we love the residents. And if we constantly are reminding them why they're here, okay, constantly remind, why are you here? Remember why we're here? We're here to take care of the residents. That's why we're here. The frustrations that we deal with, the stress that we deal with every day, it will seem very minute when we just come back to why are we here. The other thing is you can't have a strong department, right? A lot of times nursing is your strongest department because they're the biggest department. And so you don't want to have, your nursing department overshadowing anybody else. For instance, I was a regional director for activity directors. Okay, so I was the regional over activities. I did activities, I did social services, I did all the behavior management, all the dementia education in buildings across Texas. When I would go into morning meeting, I would watch. And if anybody was sitting on the outside of the table, right, in morning meeting, it was my activity directors. And I kept telling them, you are an important part of this team. You're an important part. You're a vital part of this team. Get to the table. Move to the table. Get up to the table. You're important. Make yourself important. Make yourself heard. Get to the table. So when I came in this building, there was a lot of strong personalities, which are awesome, right? I love strong type A personalities that get things done. But you have some that fall in the shadows that aren't type A personalities. Okay, they're not as strong as some in your department. So what was happening is there was 8 seats around this table, and the others were all sitting on the outside of the table. I removed the entire table. I took the table out, I redecorated, I got tables, smaller tables, longer ones. We did this U-shaped thing. I sit in the most uncomfortable spot just so that nobody else has to, because I'm trying to fit us all. We have 18 people on our leadership team. I'm trying to fit us all in the middle of in the room around the table. And I'm big about that. If somebody's sitting on the outside of the table, I'm like, move your chair up, scoot over, find space, get to the table. Your voice, everybody's voice is so important and needs to be heard. Okay, it has to be heard. And so I want them all sitting at the table. I'm telling you, that small thing, okay, that small thing that I did has created a culture of like equality. Like they're all equal. Like they feel equal. They're all getting their chance of saying things. They all feel important. They can all see and all hear and understand. It just creates this. It breaks down those silos and creates this camaraderie between the team. Okay, break down those silos. Okay, make sure that you don't have one department that's overshadowing the others, because everybody is important. Housekeeping is important. Laundry is important. Dietary, I could go through all, they're all important. And as the administrator, it's my responsibility to guide us all together in the direction we're supposed to go. Speaking of personalities, okay, so speaking of personalities, this is a personality assessment that I give to my leadership team to make sure that they understand each other. I have not done this yet with the team that I'm at now. Okay, it's not time yet. You can't just do all of this all at one time. Okay, there's strategy to it, but there's a culture that you have to build. You have to get that trust first, right? There's things that I had to do when I came in here and change. I had to sweep the building, make sure that we have all our regulatory stuff. We're waiting on state full book any day. They came in yesterday and today just to clear up, all 10 grievances and complaints and self-reports that we had. But I'm waiting on full book. I've got to make sure that we're ready for that. At the same time, I'm creating this culture and breaking down these silos and trying to get us all to work and flow and go together as a team. So this, after state gets here and after the holidays, we're in the middle of Christmas right now when I'm recording this. This is a personality test that I love to do. There's all kinds of personality tests, right? There's all kinds, and you can pick whatever one you like. I have this preference. Okay, this is my preference right here. It's the DISC system. Okay, DISC. And why I like it, I think, is because it's simple. It's just simple. There's 4 letters. You fall into those 4 categories, and it just describes people so perfectly. I don't, and maybe it's just because this was what I learned when I was a lot younger and did a lot of leadership training. But it's a simple questionnaire. This is the questionnaire that they take, and then there's a graph and chart, and you figure all out which one you're high in, which one you're low in, what you're like in a work setting, what you're like whenever you get stressed. Okay, and at home, well, at home, and then whenever you get stressed, you can go at home, you can change into other personality types, and it explains all of that. Okay, it's simple. It's a simple personality test. Why do I worry about personalities? Why? Several reasons. Okay, I am a high D personality. I've always been that way. I'm very direct. I've been through a lot in my life. I have, a lot of scars and bruises and have been through a lot that I put myself through, but I have grown to be a very strong, independent person. Very much a type D. Tell you how to get it done. Okay, very direct. I have grown and understand more of an I personality. An I personality is the fun, energetic, outgoing, very people oriented, not as much task. So D's are very task oriented. I's are more people oriented. I'm a good combination now of both. I love that. I've worked hard. I work hard to be that. I, though, as a D personality, can make an S personality. Okay, our S personalities are very sensitive and sweet and kind and will go out of their way to do whatever you ask them to do, and you can overwork them and just they will do anything. Okay, they're your hard working, sweet, sensitive people. I make them cry. I make them cry. I don't know. As a D personality, I know this. I can be so direct sometimes that it comes off as if I'm upset, and I'm not. Okay, I'm not upset. I'm just trying to get things done, right? As an administrator, we just want to get things done. We have so many things going on in our heads that I could be thinking about something that happened, 2 hours ago, but as I'm responding to someone, it's coming out as though I'm frustrated, but I'm not. I'm not frustrated at them. I'm frustrated 2 hours ago, and I just haven't got over it yet. I'm still processing it. And an S personality is so sensitive that they just cry. Okay, they just do. And I had a lady who's our front desk person at the last place I was at, same company that I'm with now. And oh my gosh, I just feel so bad. Like I still to this day apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry I've made you cry. But I made her cry. And one day I noticed she was crying and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what happened? I had no idea. As a D personality, sometimes I just don't know because I didn't know her personality until we took our personality test. I mean, I'm pretty good at picking up. I knew she was somewhat an S, but she's high S personality. Her and my maintenance guy were both high S personalities, sweet and kind and would do anything. But I hurt her feelings. I did not intend to hurt her feelings. And so I brought her in my office and I'm like, listen, I'm like, I love you. Like, I don't want you to cry. I don't want you to feel like that. And let me explain me. Let me explain what was going on in my head and why I responded that way and reassure you that there's nothing wrong. Okay. I've got to create a culture that we all understand each other. When I get stressed, I'm not a I personality anymore. I'm probably not that much fun and outgoing. I'm very direct, task oriented, get it done now. Okay. That's when I'm stressed. So she has to know as an S personality that sometimes when Bailey responds to me that way, it's not that she's being mean to me. It's that she's stressed and I got to give her grace. We have to give each other grace, right? We do. We have to give each other grace. A C personality is one that's very, by the book, like very black and white, numbers kind of, personality. They will ask a lot of questions. Okay. They like to know what's going on. They will ask questions. Quite frankly, as a D personality, I'm like, quit asking questions, just get it done. Right? But they want to know exactly how to do it step by step. If I know that as a leader or as a teammate, I will know why they're asking so many questions. It's not because they don't understand, it's because they want to make sure that they fully grasp it and they need to know every little detail. That's okay. That's their personality. All right. If I have an I personality, it's just like, woo, want to have fun all the time, and I've given you a task, and now I find you in the break room chilling and hanging out with people. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can you not work? They're going to be very people focused. If I know this about them, I will give them a task, give them a deadline, and then let them go do their thing. Knowing personalities will create a culture where people want to be. Okay, that's staff retention. That's staff retention. I'm not, you don't have to have good bonuses and good benefits and everything else we put on the 401k and all that. It's all about the culture. I cannot preach that enough. It's all about the culture. It's about personalities. The other thing is it's about having fun. Okay, as a leadership team, we have to make them come together and enjoy each other's company. I personalities will be like, yes, let's party. Let's go drink wine and let's, do all these games and let's do this. Your C personalities and D personalities will be like, oh my gosh. Like, why can we not just get the task done? The DON I have now, God love her. I love her. She's like a little mini me when I first started my career. And I love it. She's a brand new DON, amazing RN. Like, I mean, the most intelligent RN I think I have met. Like, she's so incredibly smart. And she's learning her leadership skills. And she told me whenever I first started, she's like, Bailey, I forget. I forget to have fun. I'm so task oriented and so focused on making sure that things are done right that I forget to ask about their family. I forget to, and so I've been helping her with that because that was me. I was a high D personality. I was very direct, very task oriented. Move past that. You've got to make sure that you love people. Okay, you got to love people, get to know people, focus on them in their life, and enjoy. So we have this thing called Fun Friday. My other DON at my sister building, amazing DON too. She is, oh my gosh, like I left that building and I'm like, you got this, girl. Like you are the most, like you can run this place. Like you're going to be fine. Like I have you all set up. You are good to go. And man, she is rocking it. Like she's doing an amazing job. And one of the things that she brought to the table was Fun Friday. I love that. I love it. I do like, painting with a twist and escape rooms and all these one-time things. But every Friday, instead of morning meeting, we have a Fun Friday. Most Fridays. We don't do it every single Friday. Like this Friday, we're not all going to be here. So we won't do it this Friday. And actually today they're like, oh man, we want to have Fun Friday because the holiday. We just had a Christmas party like yesterday, but they're still looking forward to Fun Friday. So the first one that you can do anything like Truth and Dare. One of them that I've done is taking the little tiles that you can take and make different shapes. And I blindfold one person, okay? Well, actually, I break them into groups, right? So if I have 18 people, I think I had like 3 or 4 groups. And then with like 10 people, you'd have like 2 groups. Like you can decide how big of a group you want. But I broke them into groups, and then I said, let me ask you, who do you think is the best listener in your group? They would vote on who in the group was the best listener, and it's kind of funny because they're like, oh, definitely her. She's the best listener. I am not. So then they're like, definitely her. So they would sit that person down. We would blindfold them, and then I would say, okay, tell me who is the best person at giving directions. And sometimes they'd be like, wait a minute, the person sitting is the best at giving directions. So get back up and put a different listener there. So then I'd have the person that's giving directions to stand behind the person that's blindfolded. I give them a sheet of paper with a shape on it. And it's like like a car that's made up of other shapes, like a triangle and rectangles. And you make this car out of the shapes that are sitting in front of you, the little tiles that are sitting in front of you. I dump the tiles out in front of the blindfolded person, and I tell them, okay, you're going to give them directions on how to build the car. Everybody else can either be observers or you can step in and help. You're the team. Okay, you're a team. What happens is they start giving directions. The person that was giving directions, a lot of times, if you have another strong person in that group, that person will just start taking over. No, up a little bit. Okay, touch the one to the right. Now move it up to the left. I mean, it's so funny to watch the dynamics. So I watch as the administrator. And then when they get done, whoever finishes it first, we cheer, yay, they finished it. It never looks exactly perfect, right? But it's close. We celebrate. And then I tell them, like, how do you feel? How do you feel? And the person sitting down is like, oh my gosh, like it's so frustrating, or it was so hard to listen, or they're like, oh my gosh, she's really good at giving directions. Like she was so clear. And, and others like, she just butted in. Like I was supposed to be the one giving directions and she just took over. It is fun. It's so much fun to get to know people's personalities. Another one that we did, I had 2 cups like you've seen on TikTok, and you fill one up until it overflows. And we just did a competition. I had them paired up in twos. Whenever somebody lost, they pair up with another two, another two, another two, until we had a winner. Fun, just basic fun things that are quick and easy, but can still build that team. Like we're not just talking about just the mundane things that we always talk about. Okay, we're breaking down those silos. At our leadership party for Christmas, I did a separate leadership Christmas party. I took them off site to a restaurant. We had a whole room to ourselves, did a white elephant, funny sweaters, and I made them come. I made them come. It was mandated Christmas party. I had 2 that actually 4 that did not want to come. And I was told about 2 before, like, hey, if you do it in the toward the evening, they won't come. They have to come. We're in the middle of team building. They have to come off site with us. They are part of the team. So the 2 that did not want to be there were the first there. And when I walked in, I said, oh, I thought you guys didn't want to come. And you're like the first ones here. They're like, we wanted to stay back and help our team. I said, but we're part of your team too. You're part of our team. You are our team. You're our leadership team. I know you wanted to stay back and help housekeeping. I know you wanted to stay back and help dietary, but you have a good team. Trust them for 2 hours. Let them do their thing for 2 hours. You're part of this team. Grow with us. They understand that now, right? We all sat around the table. They may not have enjoyed it 100%, but they were there. They were having conversations. They were laughing with us. They were engaging. They were seeing other people's personalities. That's breaking down the silos. Okay. And again, why am I talking so much on leadership? You're like, I don't worry about my leadership. I need CNAs and nurses. If you don't have a good leadership team, you will not have good CNAs and nurses. You will not have good housekeepers and dietary. It all starts at the very top with you, and it works down. Okay. The other thing that it is for your as an administrator, you have to be present. You have to be present. You have to be present and you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent and you're not present, guess what? You're not going to have CNAs and nurses either. They're not going to stay there whenever somebody down the street offers $3 more an hour. They're going to go $2 more, 50 cents. If they don't know you and love you and know that you care about them and are appreciative of the work that they're doing, guess what? Bye. I'll go down here and figure out if they appreciate me. The other thing is you have to be consistent. Okay, I've been in buildings as a team member, not as an administrator, where the administrator, you never knew what mood he or she was going to be in when they came in. Do not be that person. Please do not be that person. If that is you, you need to go to counseling. You need to figure out what your issues are, because you're coming into a building of hundreds of people, including your residents and your team members, and you are causing chaos. Okay, you're causing chaos. You're never going to have a consistent team. You're not going to be successful because you're not consistent. Okay, you have to be consistent. There are days that I'm not. Okay, I'm not perfect. Today was really stressful. I've got a lot of changes going on. Okay, that really, some of them are not even my choosing, but that need to happen. I have hard conversations that I'm having to have, not with my staff or anything to do with them, but just the outside things, the broken systems that are in place, I'm having to fix along with trying to build our team. I have to be present. Okay, I have talked to my regional. He is amazing. My boss is amazing. And I told him, like, I can't focus on my financials right now. I promise you, I always say this, I promise you that if I do what's right for the patients, the money's going to follow. If I can create a culture, right? If I can create a culture that people want to be here, if I can create a culture that people want to be here, and then the residents want to be here, it will have a trickle effect and the money will come, right? I can't sit at my desk and crunch numbers and do all these calculations. Not right now. Okay. I just got here. I've been here a month. I've got to focus on the team. They're broken. They need me present to lead by example. Later, when I get the team stable, it will stabilize. It already has stabilized so much, and I've only been here a month. Later, whenever it's stable, I will be able to then step away and start doing my financials. I'll be able to spend an hour or two, getting them all typed out into the spreadsheets, and working on reducing cost in dietary and reducing cost in laundry and tightening up things. And I'll be able to do that, right? And I'm watching it. I'm not saying like, I got 10 team members in dietary right now. Absolutely not. I know in my head how many nurses I need, how many CNAs I need. I know when my census fluctuates, when to low census, and move people around. And I'm not saying I'm just ignoring my financials at all. I'm just not doing those reports, right? I'm not doing the reports that they have. And my boss is amazing. He's like, I will put all that in there for you. You work on the environment. And I'm telling you, we've made money. Like, we're making money. And the culture is working, and staff are staying. I'm not having a lot of staff turnover. Okay, so it's culture. Be present, be out and about. I set a timer on my phone. Okay, and again, this is not something I've been doing in this building very much right now, because it's not needed. I'm out in the floor all the time, and it's Christmas. We've done a ton of gifts. But when it calms down, when Christmas calms down and we're in the middle of February, I will start doing stuff with candy. Okay, this is just a candy jar I got for Christmas, but it's something similar to what I would use. I usually have chocolate, and I usually walk around 3 o'clock. I'll set a timer on my phone, and I get up from my desk, okay, and I walk the halls. And I do it in the morning shift and the afternoon shift, but 3 o'clock is really the second shift. You do your rounds in the morning, and then our shift changes at 2, and then I'm ready to go home by 5, right? I mean, I'm not actually. I'm actually still at work, and it's like, I don't know, 9:30 at night. And so I walk around 3 o'clock, and I just tell them, hey, would you like a piece of candy? Like, man, it's 3 o'clock. I'm just, really tired right now, man. I know you must be tired. Here, take a piece of candy. Awesome job, by the way. You're doing a great job. Now, could I walk out there and find something wrong? Absolutely. I could walk out right now at 9:30 at night, and I could probably find 20 things that I could fix as the administrator. I'd probably walk out there right now. I don't have it sitting up here with me. It's on the floor, actually. Not a good place. And see people without a mask. We're still in masks. We've got COVID in the building. We have 2 residents with COVID. I could probably walk out there right now and find people without mask on. But when I get up, because that alarm has gone off, am I going to tell them to not put their mask on? No. That's one thing I would say is, hey, make sure you put your mask on, right? But am I going to mention, that cart that's not locked? No, I'll just lock it. Okay. Am I going to mention that, hey, this trash ain't been taken out? No. Okay. I can find things wrong every time I get up. But if I get up and always find something wrong, people will dread seeing me come down the hall. They'll dread it. Trust me, when I walk in the hall right now, I see masks going up like, oh crap, here she comes. I don't have to say a thing. Then I get to go up and say, hey, you want a piece of candy? Because I've done my rounds enough. I've been present enough that they know when they see me what they're supposed to be doing when they're not, right? When mama's walking down the hall, it's like, oh gosh, here she comes. Hurry, get things tidied up. They're not fearful of me. They just know I'm going to say something. And I tell leadership that I'm like, I will have your back. Say something. Even if it's not your department, break the silos down. Housekeeping should be able to tell a CNA or a nurse, hey, get your mask on. She's leadership. Leadership has the leadership authority in your building. If they don't, you better set that culture now. You can't be in every hall all the time. You cannot. I cannot be up and down the halls 24/7, even though I would love to be. Today, the surveyor, I told her, I said, I am never in my office. So if you need me, you're going to have to get somebody to page me, because I am up and down the halls right now. That's where I need to be. Okay, that's where I need to be, creating a culture like this. So I get up at 3 and I go pass out candy, and I don't say a thing about anything wrong. I sometimes have to just bite my tongue. If it's going to be something harmful to a resident, I will say it or fix it. Okay. Otherwise, I just go out for a piece of candy. Okay. I can just walk around sometimes and just be like, hey, great to see you today. Or, hey, Anthony, I heard great things about you today in morning meeting. Gosh, the families are loving you. Excellent job. Okay. So giving them words of appreciation. That's going to take me to my next point, kudos. I think every building, this is not a lie either. I've been in 4 buildings. This sounds really bad, but I've been promoted. Not just like moving around because of my choice, okay? I've had 4 buildings, okay, that every time I've walked in, there is no kudos system in place. There's no kudos. Okay, what I mean by kudos is this. It is so simple. The stuff that I'm telling you does not take a lot of money. Candy is not money. Okay, spending time and being present, taking this test. Yes, you could pay for the whole test and all the cool things with it, or you can just do it yourself. Okay, learn, grow. Okay, read the book. There's a disc book, a personality book. Read it. Okay, train your staff on it. Like, I can do this for free. Okay, I can do a lot of this for very low cost. This is paper, okay, and ink. We all have it. It's a little cardstock, so it might cost a little bit more. This is a kudos form. Okay, I made this on Canva, and actually I did this for y'all because I knew this was going to be your next question is, oh my gosh, can I have like, your templates? I see it. I know. I do trading. I consult across the country. Trust me, whenever I tried to not have PowerPoint presentations, oh, I thought the world was going to end on my evaluations. They're like, you didn't have any handouts. How dare you not have handouts? I know people love handouts. So I created a little bit of handouts. And so I'll link them down below into my website and you can download them and stuff. But this is paper. Okay. And I do this at every building, and they all look a little different. I'm at this building now with the same company I was at last, so I just use the same template. But I like to change them up. I just picked a few like traits that I want to see in my team members, or that I think people could see, and that would be kind of all encompassing. And so it has our logo at the top, and it says blank has demonstrated passion, intention, nurture, and excellence. You showed this by, and there's a blank. Okay. And this is what happens to it. Okay. So Anthony has demonstrated intention. Anthony, we are so blessed to have him working here with us, always caring for all the residents with a smile. I agree. So this is from another staff member. Okay. Residents do this. Families can do this. Other coworkers can do this. Any outside vendors can grab a kudos form and write this up. And then this goes on a board. Okay. In our hallway, in one of our main hallways, it's a kudos board. It has decorations on it, like a little bit of decorations, and it's small. I started it small for a reason. I intentionally did that because every day in the morning meeting, I ask for these. It takes a while to get people to focus on the good and not just the bad. It takes a while. Okay. So don't get discouraged and stop this. This is on my morning meeting form. I say, that's like the second thing. Does anybody have any kudos for anyone? If leadership starts to where it's like never anything, okay, and maybe I'm the only one, or, and I'm guilty. When I read it, I'm thinking, oh crap, think of names. Who'd you see yesterday? You saw a lot of people. Be intentional, Bailey. But I start telling them, I'm like, you know what? Today, in the morning, today I want you to look and focus on the positive. You need to find one person, write it up, bring it in the morning and pass it in. That's 18 people right there that got kudos in one morning. Intentionally make people look for the positive. So what happened is I started this, and there was two. I wrote one and I got someone else to write another. I posted them on the board. I put these little cards, okay, in a brochure holder that's stuck up on the wall right next to the cork board. In our family council, or anytime families come up and say, hey, you know what, Miriam's doing an amazing job, I say, hey, let's fill out a kudos form for her. This goes on our board over there to pinpoint the great people in our team. It also goes into their employee file, and it's looked at their year anniversary. So can you write up the kudos for me so that they can have it? Families love this. Team members love this. Okay. I pull them all off at the end of the month. Our board's full. Okay. I've been here a month. Our board is full. And it's small, but it's overlapping and full. That encourages everybody, like, oh my gosh, look at all these kudos on the board. Like, everybody's so happy here. And, we're all kudosing each other. I take them off. It's empty. They start putting them up again. Sometimes I have to lead that. Okay. Sometimes I have to be the one to lead and guide and show, remember the kudos, remember to be positive. And then these are looked at the end of the month, or the first part of the next month, for our team member of the month. Okay. And I'm going to show you what our team member of the month, let's see what our screen looks like here. I'm going to show you what our team member of the month looks like. Okay. So this is our team member appreciation. And this is for our team member of the month. So it says employee of the month for this date, proudly presented to the team member's name. The team member has so many amazing characteristics, but two words that describe the team member are dependable and compassionate. Team member has such a sweet, kind, quiet spirit. Anything asked of her will get done and done above and beyond. She is loved by her coworkers, residents, and their families. Team member, we are so blessed to have you on our team and look to you as a role model for my building's called River Hills. I'll say for the River Hills way. Okay, I sign it, the supervisor signs it, and this is what's given to them for team member of the month. Okay, this right here goes so far. I can't even tell you. It goes so far. Okay, they absolutely love getting these. Okay, and then a picture. In our building here, we actually have this wooden plaque, and every month has a team member's picture and their little bio next to it. And then on the side of it, it's their month. So team member, all the team members. This company, okay, not all companies have to do this. We give a gift card of $250. Great gift card. And then they also get put into a drawing for a trip of the year. They get to go on a trip. Them and another person is paid for. So out of the 12 people for the year, a name gets drawn at the end of the year, and that person wins a trip for themselves and someone else. Okay, for team member of the year. And you can do it different. If you don't want to just do the team member of the month as a team member of the year, just kudos people. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that again is just do it. I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care if your certificate's pretty. That certificate, every time I look at it, I think, dang, that's so ugly. I don't have time to fix it. Okay, I don't have time. It's the same yellow that I've had for years. Who cares? Okay, it works. And you know what? The team members absolutely love it. They love having that certificate as the kudos. Okay, so kudos. Go out and intentionally look for things that are positive. I've done one that says pin. And did some little saying like, I don't know, pin something to the board. I can't remember what I did. It was so long ago. But it was like passion, attention, nurturing. So I had this little, like a Pinterest or like a little Pinterest thing, and it was like a target. Anyway, you can, whatever your qualities are, put them up here for your company. Okay, get creative with it. Or just use this template. Put your logo up here, put your people up there, stick these things out there. Get going. Do it. Don't wait. Okay, kudos. That's a big one. The next thing is, let's just go to years of service. Okay, and I want to show you again this screen. So I'm going to show you here. Let me look. Where are you? All right, here we go. Okay, so this right here is our team member of the month, and this here is the team member of the year. All right, so certificate of appreciation. This acknowledges that the team member's name has successfully completed 19 years at River Hills Health and Rehab in Kerrville. It has the date. This date right here is actually the date they started with your company. Okay, this date is the seal that they started with your company. You sign right here as the administrator, and then these blanks are 4 words of encouragement. Okay, so you're going to look for positive traits. What I do with this certificate is I have these printed out for the month in advance. I hand them out to the leadership department heads, and I say, I want you to take this list of positive traits, pick 2. Okay, pick 2 things, just like in the other one. Pick 2 of them. Mary is hardworking and she's incredibly creative. Okay, and just like we said on the certificate of appreciation for team of the month, you would do the same thing. So your leadership team member is saying, Annie has so many amazing characteristics, but 2 words to describe her are hardworking and creative. Okay, the team member, you have so many creative things that you've been doing. We're so appreciative of you. You write a short little narrative. The leadership team member writes a short little narrative. They sign it, or you can sign it as the administrator, and you give it out to them for their years of service. Okay, and it doesn't stop there. Okay, it doesn't stop there. So many times, a lot of us will just print out these certificates. They're like 1 year of service. That's great. If that's all you have time for and that's what you want to do, good. Do it. Take it to the next level at some point. Okay, take it to the next level. Take your years of certificate, do your personality and qualities on there. Take that time to do it. I'm telling you, it will pay off. It really will. It will pay off. Okay, so when they know that you're not just, hey, congratulations on 1 year, but you're like, man, these are the things that I appreciate from you. My boss did this for me in a company that I worked for. I actually had 3 of my bosses. I was there for 5 years, and so I got several of them, but 3 of my favorite bosses all have written me a certificate, and they are still framed to this day. Because I look back at those and I think that's where I have been. People are noticing my hard work. They notice my personality. They appreciate me, not my years. They appreciate me. They notice qualities in me that I feel like, gosh, I'm working so hard. Are you even noticing? And they are. They noticed. Okay, so don't just say, hey, congratulations on your years of service, but say, these are the two things I appreciate about you. And you know what? Some of those team members that are difficult, you're going to have to think hard, but it's going to make you think hard and find something that's positive. The next step is these. Okay, these are pins. Okay, you can't really see. I don't know why it's not wanting to focus on it. Too close, maybe? There we go. So these are little pins, and I'll just show you what it says. It says excellence in service. This is 1 year. This is a 5-year one, so I've got several of them. They come in all different shapes, sizes. I will tell you, we bought some larger ones for this last year. Here, I actually did them all at Christmas because they had never done them before. So I did all their certificates at Christmas and gave them out as years of service at the end of the year. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, we had gifts and everything. They were at that table looking for their certificates. We didn't even write out anything on these. This year, they're going to be so excited. I cannot wait. Like when I get to give them their certificates or when we do, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, like these certificates are so great. They have something about me. And then we got these little pins. The big ones had stickers and they didn't stick real well. These little pins are really good quality. They're expensive. But I'm telling you, these things, they will wear them. So if you have badges, they'll be putting them on their badges, on their name tags. Like they love their pins. They're proud of their pins. So you and I might think, oh, a pin, like what am I going to do with that? Trust me, they will love them. Okay, they love them. So take your years of certificate and do a little extra. Take it to the next level. Don't just stop with, hey, congrats on 1 year. Take it to the next level. The next thing, in loving and taking care of your people and celebrating them, birthdays. Okay, I don't know about you, but I like to be celebrated. And I really like to people to know that it's my birthday. And so there's a couple things that I do. Let me get this up here. The first thing that I do as the administrator is I've got these birthday cards. I found these on Amazon. I'll put a link somewhere at some point. These are my birthday cards. I take them out, okay, and I write my birthday card. Okay, they're the nice big cards. I put them in an envelope and I mail them out. Okay, I mail these out. And on the back, I put the date that their birthday is. And I mail them out around their birthday. Okay, hopefully the couple days before so they get there. I even have my little roll of stamps inside my box. So everything is right here. I've got my team member list that HR prints out for me. So I know everybody's birthdays. I write these in advance. So January's I write in December. December's I write in November. I write them in advance so they're ready to go. I can have front desk do this. I do it now just because we're so overwhelmed with everything. I do it myself. But I have these on my desk so I remember people's birthdays. Okay. When I got here, we did a staff satisfaction survey. Another thing that will help with staff retention is staff satisfaction survey. I used a Google form. I can show you what Google form it is. I wrote like, I don't know, 10, 12 questions on there, put optional to put their name and everything on it. I sent it out by SlickText, SlickText, SlickText. If you don't have a way to text all of your staff at one time, it's a good, cheap way to do it. I sent out the link to it and I asked them to send it back. I told them if we got 95% that I'd buy them Crumble cookies. Okay, so a nice cookie from a place here in Texas. We didn't get 95%. That's okay. Okay, because I'm new here. They don't know me. They don't trust me yet. I got like 52 though. I got like half. I got 50%, over 50% of my surveys back. Getting on all staff calls, which I'll talk about in a minute. But so anyway, I did the certificate, the staff retention. And on the staff retention, the staff satisfaction survey, they said there was a lot of favoritism. I could see it. When I walked in this place, I knew there was favoritism. I could look at the wages and tell there's favoritism. Okay, you could walk down the hall and some people would be given raises just because they liked you. The common theme was it's not who you, I can't remember it. No favoritism, none. Okay, and one of the things that I asked was, what do y'all do for people's birthdays? Oh, we do this big celebration in the middle courtyard. We call everybody in. We have birthday cake and gifts. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, it's going to cost us a fortune. And I said, for everybody? They're like, oh, well, we try, but not for everybody. Great intentions. Again, I love my team here. They mean well, right? So you do good until you know better, and then you do better. Okay. So you do what you know, and then when you know better, you do better. And they didn't know any better. Okay, again, they're thinking they're doing good by having birthday parties, and they did good, but they created an environment, a culture that had favoritism. Because you know what? If it was my birthday and they were busy with state, or they were busy, or people were out, or mine was the weekend, or mine's the evening shift, and I don't get celebrated, my feelings will be hurt. Okay, maybe not real bad, but kind of real bad. I would be hurt. Don't create a culture of favoritism. Okay, don't allow that in your building. Your DON should not be celebrating one or two of her CNAs, or one or two of her nurses, or just her nurses and not her aides. Don't allow that. Okay, so I thought, okay, we're already spending a lot of money on a few, right? So I'm going to spend a reasonable amount, like $8, on a team member's birthday. That to me, again, is staff retention. When you're talking about losing a team member, it's going to cost me hundreds, not thousands. So I'm going to retain them. So what I did was I went to Bath and Body Works and I purchased some Bath and Body Works and small bags on Amazon, all right, with some tissue paper, a piece of tissue paper. I got men the sprays, okay, so they get spray. I got the ladies the lotion. I got the bags. Put it all together, okay? I took these cute little things I made on Canva, got everybody to sign them, all the leadership to sign. It says happy birthday from all of us at River Hills. You put them inside the bag, and then they know. I'm telling you, I've been doing it for a month now, and guess who comes to look for their birthday gift? Yep, the team member. They know on my birthday, I get to go get me some Bath and Body Works in HR's office or in the administrator office, and they come looking for us. And it's like, oh my gosh, happy birthday. We're so excited that you're here. God, State's here, and we forgot. But they come to me because they want their gift. And it's like, oh my gosh, yes, their birthday. And we get to celebrate them and love them and be like, oh my gosh, we're so appreciative of you. Birthdays, celebrate their birthdays. Okay, they love that. They love knowing and they love receiving mail in the mail from you, a birthday card from you. How special is that? They're like, oh man, Bailey actually wrote me a note. What? The administrator? I've been there. We forget in leadership what it feels like to not be in leadership. We're like, oh gosh, this is a hard job. I hate management. Heard that so many times this week. Not this week, but like over this last month. It's like, oh God, I don't know if I really like management. Management's hard. It's hard. I'm like, I know it's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard work. You got to work at it, but it's fun. Okay, it's fun. So, birthdays, celebrate people's birthdays. Do not create favoritism. Okay, don't create favoritism. So, those are just a few things that we started, just a few. Another few items is meals that they can take home. If you have bad weather or COVID or an infection or something's happening in your building that's causing people to have to work late or miss out on families, have the kitchen staff, okay, or an outside organization. If you have the kitchen staff cook something for a meal or for a party that's supposed to be for staff, you better be treating them with something extra. I'm just saying. Don't make them work harder to create a party for everybody else. Remember this. If you're going to celebrate Nurses Week, you better be celebrating Activity Week because it's coming up in January. It's the first one, and we all forget about it, and then Activities has to do all the rest of them for every other department. Don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, we have to be consistent. But anyway, I completely lost my train of thought. So meals. Okay, so you can do take-home meals. So if you get them the little, casserole dishes that could feed a small family, send it home with them. Okay, like a chicken spaghetti, or it's not going to cost you much out of your kitchen. Okay, to make a take-home casserole. They will love that. They will love it. Read. Okay, read. This is a good book. I have a ton of good leadership books. But again, I'm at work in my office and going to do this video so I can answer this Facebook question for you guys. And now we're like at almost an hour now. I'm sorry, but I hope you've gotten so much good information. Again, I love educating. And so I also love reading. This is a great team building book. To get staff to stay, you've got to do team building. You've got to learn about personalities and grow yourself as a leader. You have to. Okay, you have to grow as a leader to keep your staff. The question on Facebook, before I go to the last thing, the question on Facebook was, do you do a PIP for staff retention? Okay, or is it just such a big problem that you can't really answer it? It's not a big problem. Yes, the shortage of staff is a big problem. Okay, but retaining your staff, that should not be a problem. Getting new staff, Yeah, that's a problem, right? They're not just created. So yeah, it might be hard to get them, but I'm telling you one thing, our worlds, okay, even in other states where you're like the only nursing home, the world is small, okay? Long-term care is small. Word will spread about how much you appreciate them, and they'll come. Okay, they will come. They'll be like, "Oh man, I really want to work there." So I've used agency before, okay, and I got agency completely out of the building by it was shift key. Actually, I love shift key, especially in our area. I know it's not good everywhere, so don't be leaving me comments about that. But we use shift key, and the reason I use them is because they let me hire their people without breaking contract. So what I would do is I would bring them in. I'd choose the same nurses over and over for several shifts, and then I had negotiated my rates lower to where I knew that the team member was making around what my average wage was for that department. When they got there and they kept coming at 2 to 10 shift, I'd say, "Hey, you know what? We love you here. Like, we appreciate you. We love you. We sent you a birthday card. We gave you a birthday gift. Like, we love you here. We're so proud and like thankful for you, but we really are going to try to fill this shift. And I'd love to offer it to you, and you be our full-time team member. And so what do you think? Like, here's the pay that I can give. It's probably a little more or if not equal to what you're making now. And we would love to have you part of our team. Instead of having to fill it with someone else, we took agency out of the building. It works. And now we just use shift key to fill those one-off, times that, hey, the nurse called in at 6 a.m. and now we have no nurse. So we don't have to use it for those consistent shifts anymore. So get creative like that. Create a culture, get your culture going to where people want to be there. Use agency and create a culture that people want to just, no, I don't want to do agency anymore. I want to work for you. I want to work for you. I want to be around you more. You're consistent, you're present, you're there. That's who I want to be with. Another thing that I do to help with retention, in this came out in our staff satisfaction survey, and I've done this in every building since COVID, is a all staff call. So those mandated meetings that we used to do, ugh, they never work. Nobody's coming into the building on payday anymore. Heck no, like you're not going to get them outside of their work time. And so I do a mandated Zoom call, and I have everybody invited. Again, I use that Slick Text. I have a Zoom account. I get everybody to log in at 3 o'clock every Tuesday or every other Tuesday or once a month or whatever you want to do. Or right now, mine is like whenever I can because we're getting ready for state. So I'd pop in and be like, hey, we got to go over all these in services real quick all together. So I have about 110 staff. I think we've had 75 on there at a time. It's a fun meeting. It's not just, okay, today, this is the in service, this is the in service, this is the in service. Okay, you guys have a good day. 15 minutes, they all get paid. No. Okay, it's about 20 minutes. I always say it's going to be 15, but you can tell I'm a talker. So I do a fun thing. I'm like, hey, you'll never believe what's happening. We're starting these programs with the residents. Did you see our new photo wall out there? Here's the kudos that we got. Here's our team member of the month. Here's our birthdays we're celebrating. You guys are amazing. Here's our few in services. Oh, and by the way, these great things are coming. And then I pray at the end and take prayer. Oh, I don't take prayer requests then, but I pray at the end over all of the staff members. And I give away a gift card or whatever, a little prize, birthday thing, a little gift, like a drawing, or I make them answer questions and I give, random things away or a candy bar or just something small, simple. Okay. And then I pray at the end. Okay. And we wrap up and I take roll call. I actually make them wait in the waiting room on Zoom. And then I have HR sitting next to me and I start accepting them into the meeting at around, 10 till 3. She sits and highlights their name. We also have their phone numbers because you can join by phone. So I read off the last 4. She highlights the phone number, writes the number down, and finds them as I'm in the meeting. We go through everybody. At the end, I tell them you have to stay on. When you hear your name, you can hang up. If you don't hear your name, you ain't getting paid for it. So you better be on. And you better be on till the end because I'm watching, right? So you can't just log on and then log off. You can also tell who's not paying attention because their name will just stay on Zoom at the end. And you're like, hello, are you there? Okay, I'm going to let you go now. And then to follow up with them and be like, hey, what did we talk about? It's great. It's fun. They love it. They feel communicated. They know what's going on. There's no gossip and drama and stuff like, oh, Bailey said, or I heard, or she told 2 people, but not the rest of us. None of that. It's all on the same page. Okay. We're all on the same page too, because I pray. Now, some of you might be like, oh, turn this girl off. I don't know who she thinks she is. Tell me to pray. You don't have to be religious. Okay. You don't have to be religious. I'm telling you, somebody in your leadership team or in your department feels strong enough to pray out loud, okay, with people, it's not about religion, okay? It's about bringing people together on and focused on one thing. Okay, it brings them together and focuses on one thing. I have had in my leadership team, when I started, I always open our morning meeting with prayer. That's the first thing I do before anything else. Okay, and I don't do it every morning. There are mornings, quite honestly, that I wake up and I just absolutely don't feel like praying. And if I did, it wouldn't come out nicely, probably. And I just don't want to pray. And that's okay. I can ask other people that I know feel comfortable if they want to, but then other times I just don't have to. You don't have to do it every morning. But I do ask for prayer requests. And I have had people who are like, I'm absolutely an atheist. I don't believe in God. I've been burned by the church. I don't want anything to do with God or religion or anything else. When I ask for prayer requests, they're the only ones giving prayer requests. Okay. It brings us together. Okay. It in case it does work, they give a prayer request. Okay. They do, and it makes them know that you care about them, right? There's something about it, and I know what it is, right? I know God brings us together. And I pray over this building all the time. Okay, we are brought together, no matter what religion you are, no matter if you don't even absolutely believe. It gives us a time to stop. And I tell the staff and I tell leadership before I do it, I'm like, I'm gonna stop and pray, right? I tell my leadership in the first day I'm there. By the way, in morning meeting, I say a prayer in the morning. I'm going to ask for prayer requests. Feel free to give them or not. If you don't want to pray, you don't have to. I just ask that you sit there quietly. I've had people actually at a state place, they weren't part of our team, but they would get up and leave during prayers. That's a little extreme, right? So at least just sit there quietly. And I tell them, you don't have to pray. You could just sit and meditate. You could just sit and listen. You could dream and think about something else. Just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just relax for a minute. But we're going to pray. And I'll take prayer requests. So at the end of our all staff call and at the end of our family call or any meeting that I have, I also pray. And it just does something. Okay. I just encourage you to do it. I encourage you to pray and to bring people together and really pray for God to oversee your building. And you'd be surprised at what happens. Okay. Our census is going, our staff are happy, and I honestly believe that God is blessing this building because we are working hard and diligent at, honoring and serving Him in all that we say and all that we do. I have devotionals that you can read in the morning. This is a Jesus is Calling one. I actually won this for a Christmas gift, but it has dates and short little things that you can read. So if you don't want to pray, maybe just read some words of encouragement. I just bought a really cool book. I cannot wait till it comes in on Amazon. It's a leadership devotional. Okay, so it's short things too that I can read in the morning meeting about leadership. It's a small devotional. So just do something encouraging. Read an encouraging quote you find on Pinterest or TikTok or whatever. Just tell a story that you heard. Okay, something to kind of bring people together. But I always ask for prayer requests. I have prayer request boxes in the building for them to be able to put things, their prayer request in, and me to go get it and pray for them and to go follow up and be like, hey, you know what, Carrie, I'm praying for you. I got that. And how is your mom? Is she doing all right now? Okay. Intentional. I've had staff come to me and they're like, Bailey, I know you're a praying woman, because you've been praying. My mom's really going through something right now. I stop right then. Right then. I'm like, let's pray right now. Let's just pray for her right now. Am I comfortable praying out loud? No. Did I do that? No. I've not done that before, but I know as a leader, okay, and I've watched people in my career as I've been growing and growing in leadership. I watched a man who's passed now as an administrator. He led his team in prayer in the morning. He was actually a pastor that turned into an administrator. And I just thought, wow, I want to be him. And it's going to be hard and it's not going to be always fun. It's not going to always be favorable, but I want to be him. And I want to create a culture that people feel safe, that I can still get my tasks done, but also love people through it. And my why is those people. I want to surround myself with good leaders because that's what makes a good leader. I got to train my leadership team. You surround yourself with strong people. You don't run off the best because you're worried they're going to take your job. You surround yourself with good people and you're going to be an amazing leader. And let me tell you, an amazing leader attracts team members and team members that want to stay and that you can retain. Okay, so I've just given you an hour long, and I'm sorry. Okay, this is why I couldn't just type it out. Um, I love staff retention. Okay, if you need help, again, I love growing people. If you need help, you reach out. Okay, you reach out, you're like, hey, Bailey, can you help me with this? Message me. I'll give you my number. We can chat, my drive there and back. I mean, I'm busy, yes, like all of us, but I believe in this stuff. Okay, I believe in growing people. And staff retention is easy. Okay, it's easy. It doesn't have to be elaborate, it doesn't have to be hard. Create a culture that people want to be there. Be the person people want to be around. Love your people. Okay, grow your people. You got this. All right, you're a nursing home expert, by golly. So thank you for watching. Thank you for learning and educating yourself. And gosh, you're on your road to being a really good expert. So keep it up. I'll see you next time.